Support court with Judge Vanda B is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1043, foster case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Foster.
All right, guys, buckle up. Because today we are diving into a wild ride inside Judge Vanda B's courtroom, where a child support battle takes a sharp turn into influencer culture, personal responsibility, and one man's reality check. From a superfan love story gone sideways to a judge who isn't here for the excuses. Every second of this case delivers drama, irony, and hard truths. Let's break it down part by part, with commentary that hits just as hard as the gavel.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, what's happening is this. She's out and she's partying, she's having fun, she's doing all this stuff like all on social media. She's a social media influencer. I met her because I'm one of her super fans.
Oh,
yeah.
This is cute.
How it happened was that
Here's the opening move, and it wastes no time. Mr. Foster storms in with frustration and fire, painting a picture of a party-loving mom who lives more for likes than late-night feedings. The twist? He's not just the child's father, he was her superfan. It's a wild setup that's already loaded with irony. A man who once adored her online persona is now overwhelmed by the real-life consequences of their brief affair. In less than 20 seconds, the tension is planted, and Judge Vanda is clearly intrigued. This isn't just a child support case. It's the cost of blurred lines between fantasy and reality.
Since I'm a super fan, I'm kind of following her around, see what she's doing. But she actually called for me to cater to one of her areas, which is how we actually hooked up from there, because I'm a chef.
Okay.
We have one child together, and she's not really doing the things that she's supposed to do as a mother, pretty much supporting the child, being there for him, paying any Medicaid or so, dealing with for the child. I practically do all that. And I brought her here today just to say, hey, you gotta step up your game. You gotta do something, help out this child, because I can't be the only supporter if you're here supposed to do something as well. I mean, I can do it, but I do need a little bit more income for that.
Okay. I'm a little bit more interested in the background. How you became a super fan and you hooked up.
Well, I'm a follower.
I mean, I don't need all the details.
Mr. Foster lays out the background. The courtroom starts to see how deeply this influencer fantasy spiraled into a parenting nightmare. He catered one of her events as a chef, which led to their hookup, and ultimately, a child. Now, he claims he's doing all the parenting while she reaps the social media fame. There's a growing sense of injustice here, and you can feel the court leaning into his frustration. He doesn't just want money, he wants accountability. He's out here holding it down solo, and his calm tone contrasts sharply with the chaos he's describing. The story's already flipped, and the sympathy is clearly swinging his way.
About, how the child was conceived. I'm just interested to see how that works,
Well, I'm the type of guy that I always post all my stuff, letting people know this is what I do, like all my catering stuff and all that. But when it comes to her, I know that she does all this stuff, and I know she's a big influencer, and she pretty much puts everything out there. She's really, when it comes to making it to a live stream, she can do that. She has that. But so that's what I did. I actually reached out to her in that way, and that's how I got more of my influence out there, so I can actually start catering and partying catering to all these parties.
Okay. All right. And so you want her to pay child support?
Yes.
All right. And you said the child is on Medicaid,
yes.
Correct? Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
No.
Okay. Ma'am? Yes. Welcome. I'm honored. Social media influencer?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, but what does that have to do with you being a mom?
I'm out there trying to make money and trying to support my child. I do send.
Now the spotlight turns to Mom, and her defense comes off less like a plan and more like a patchwork excuse. She claims she's still growing her business and sends money when she can, but it sounds vague, unreliable, and frankly, disinterested. The moment she downplays her partying as working and tries to rewrite history about the event they met at, Judge Vanda catches the spin immediately. The credibility starts to wobble, and this part of the video builds the gap between Mom's lifestyle and her role as a parent. It's a classic courtroom shift, where defense turns into damage control, and the judge starts narrowing in.
Him money. I mean, I'm just trying to grow my business.
How much money do you send him?
It just depends on what's going on during the week, what I have and what my income is each month.
On average, how much money are you getting from her, if any?
She only sends about maybe like $200-300.
$200 or $300? You're a social media influencer?
Well, I'm still growing my business. I mean, I'm
Right.
Not
But
that.
she parties. It's all over. It's online. It's like she's everywhere.
And you're getting paid for these appearances,
and you
right?
party too. That's how we met.
Nah, I was catering to your.
You were
to one of your
catering,
parties. Yes.
Oh.
So I wasn't really partying. I was catering. I had to work it.
Right. That's what they're calling catering these days. Being a super fan. I get it.
It was one time.
One time and you all had the baby?
Yeah, don't take that long.
Well, that's true. So,
This is where things explode. Judge Vonda hits the turning point with surgical precision. When the mom casually admits she makes about $100K a year, but sends only a few $100s to support her child, the air gets sucked out of the room. The judge doesn't just react, she snaps back, calling out the absurdity of it all. It's the perfect storm of arrogance meeting accountability. For viewers, it's an unforgettable moment. The influencer's fantasy crashes into the judge's brutal facts. And just like that, the power dynamic shifts completely.
So he is making a good income as well.
right, but the child is with him. So
Yes.
his income is not really
Because
concerning
I
for me.
travel. I travel.
Right, and you're being paid for your travel. Exactly. How much are you making, roughly?
Maybe about 100,000.
You're making about $100,000 and you send him $200 or so for the baby?
Yes.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not about to do this with you. You're making a lot of money and your child is coming up short and you don't have a problem with that?
No, I do have a problem with that. I would like him with me.
So you want the baby to be on social media for likes and follows?
Oh, it might
What
be
about-
something that
Like, what about school and all those other
he can
academic
do
things that he has to
homeschool
do?
when he's 3.
So
He's
where
going
is
to
he
be on
homeschooling? In
virtual
hotels and stuff
school
like
with
that?
likes and followers?
You see it all the time. Why not? I mean,
Right, but don't you believe that that's a distraction?
no, I mean, I feel like, I'm making a pretty good income, and I think that
Here, Judge Vonda goes full throttle. She challenges every weak excuse and dismantles the mom's logic one blow at a time. Mom wants the child with her, on the road, on social media, and growing a brand. But the judge sees right through the influencer illusion. She highlights the importance of a stable home, school, and presence. The mom's idea of parenting sounds more like a marketing plan than childcare. With each question, Judge Vonda's patience thins, and you can see this isn't just about money anymore. It's about parenting principles, plain and simple.
this could really help him when he's older
And
and to
I-
save up some money.
Well, if you're making a pretty good income, you can send more.
I agree with that.
Maybe you could work harder.
No, ma'am. Maybe you can work harder to be in your child's life. And I highly doubt a judge would place the child with you knowing that you travel, you're doing all of these things for growing your business, and the child is with him. Sounds like 100% of the time.
No, not all the time.
Okay, how often do you have the child?
When he allows the child to be with me when I'm not traveling.
Oh, okay. So when you're not traveling, that's how often?
Really, a couple of days a month.
Exactly. You made that up. This is what we're going to do. We're going to place you on child support based on that $100,000 a year, ma'am. Yeah, and don't look confused. It's the right thing to do. It is absurd that you believe it is okay to only send a couple of $100s to dad for your child, and you actually think that it's okay for your child to be toting along with you to grow your social media influence. Yeah, no, that's not what we're going to do. This child needs to be in an environment that is stable, Need to make sure that school is being attended to. How old is
And now, the gavel hits hardest. Judge Vonda breaks down the numbers with precision. The income, the Medicaid responsibility, the monthly obligation, over $1,300 owed. There's no sugarcoating, no loophole, no influencer charm to get out of this. The mom's reaction is stunned, silence, and it speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Mr. Foster stays composed, finally getting the justice he fought for. This is the climax, where accountability meets consequences, and the influencer is now officially on the hook, not for a post, but for her child. Court adjourned, case closed, and reality restored.
this child?
Oh, 3.
3 years old? No. Kindergarten will be here before you know it. He does not need to be traveling and going to homeschool and virtual school all over the country or wherever it is that you have to appear. You'd agree with me, right?
I mean, I guess I have to.
No, you don't have to, but don't you believe that's in the best interest of the child to be somewhere stable?
Well, I think the best interest of the child would be with me, and if I'm growing a business and I can take care of them.
And you believe that because you're the mom?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen today. So what we're going to do is base your child support off that $100,000 that you testified to, that makes your gross $8,333.33, bringing your net to $6,212.37. That makes your monthly child support obligation $1,242. Now, you mentioned Medicaid.
Yes.
Medicaid is not free. He doesn't have to pay for it, but you do. So it's based on 9% of your gross, which your gross is that $8,300 that I said earlier, that brings your reimbursement to Medicaid $750. If you can find somewhere on, private health insurance, I'm pretty sure you can find it a lot cheaper. Maybe one of your followers is a health insurance agent or something, and they can get you something cheaper, okay? So based on that, $1,242 plus $750 brings your monthly child support obligation to $1,992. You're gonna pay that monthly to Dad. Any questions?
No, I don't have any.
Why did you look at him?
Because I was just thinking he's making more money, he's doing more gigs.
That's great, and so are you. And if you make any more money doing more gigs, we can just increase your child support. Anything further?
Nope.
Is there anything further, sir?
No.
Okay, nothing further. You all are dismissed. Hi guys, it's me, Judge Vonda B. I wanted to go over what you all witnessed in the Foster case. So this was a pretty unique case. Mom was a social media influencer. Dad was her super fan. They hooked up, had a baby. Guess what? You can still be ordered to pay child support based off any of your net resources. You heard Mom testify that based on, her social media likes, followers, and any type of appearances that she had to make, she makes about $100,000 a year. Her child support was based on that. Well, something interesting that stood out in this case, you heard me talk about a cap. In Texas, there is a cap on the amount of net resources that a person pays. So if your net resources exceed $9,200 a month, that is the amount that your child support is based on. So it's almost like a reduction if you think about it, because